Alright dreamers, grab a piece of paper and a pen and write down a description of who you think you are. And let me know, what does that look like? What's up dreamers, this is Irene and welcome to Mind Alley. Let me tell you two stories about two women. The first woman, she was born in a poor family. Her family was so poor that they had to give her up for adoption. She never had any schooling and she had to help raising other kids when she was still a kid herself. When she grew up, she was arranged to marry a poor man. They started several businesses, but failed. They lived in a tiny apartment that can barely fit 3 people. They had to borrow money from friends and relatives so they can send their kids to school. Life was not easy for them, for her, but she always dressed nice and clean. When people saw her, they thought that she married into a wealthy family. Eventually, her kids grew up, well educated. The family moved into a big 4-story house. She now lives happy and wealthy with her family. The second woman also grew up in a poor family. She was the youngest amongst her siblings. All of her siblings were many years older than her, so she was almost raised by her brothers and sisters instead of her parents. She was also lacked on education. When she grew up and married a soldier, they were also very poor. Money was always an issue. They were unable to provide much to their kids and themselves. Life was not easy for her either. She never took care of herself properly. They were poor, so she dressed poor. In a way, she fit in with her circumstance. Time went by, her kids grew up, very well educated. But she still lived in the same little property with the risk that the government will take it away anytime. Money is still an issue. She still lived in the life of lack. That is the story of the second woman. Those two women are my grandmothers. Full respects to them. Without them, I wouldn't be here. But this shows how important self-image is to a person. My first grandma, she grew up and lived in a very poor situation, but her self-image was a person with prosperity. And even though she was poor for a very long time, eventually her reality caught up and gave her a life of abundance, just like how she saw herself to be. My second grandma, same difficult situation, but her self-image stayed consistent with exactly what her surrounding was. And as psychology proved, you can never surpass the image you set for yourself. She stayed exactly where she thought she was. If you look carefully at my social media, there is a line I use very often. Your mind is your only limitation. You can never ever outperform who you believe you are. So if you want to change your result positively, start within. Start by changing your belief and your self-image, and your reality will catch up. That's it for today, dreamers. If my grandma could do it, you better believe you can too.